Prepare for battle indeed. Okay, so we are finally back in and ready as I try to get the overlays back up and good to go. There we go. They'll pop up right there. Okay, folks, sorry about that hiccup instead of delays, but we are finally going to get underway. It's TongFu taking on LGD in a best-of-3 matchup. We already have TongFu, who pulled out a bit of an upset there in game number 1, so they are up 1-0. LGD looking to fight back strong here. We had a couple of server issues and lag and ping, but after a couple of remakes, we seem to have finally found our way into game number 2. I'm KotLGuy, bringing you the English coverage here for Beyond the Summit, and I got my good buddy Basskip here with me by my side. Basskip, please, first and foremost, I appreciate your patience. Sorry about all the server hiccups, but it looks like we'll finally have a game, so I'm looking forward to it.
You mean they're your fault, Kotl? Is that what you're admitting to?
Have you not heard of the Kotl curse? It's always my fault.
I've heard of the Kotl curse. I've heard of the Kotl curse.
Yeah, it seems to never go away.
It's okay.
It just lingers every once in a while, but here we go. I'm just going to quickly fly through some of the rosters so people know exactly what the hell is happening. For Radiant side, it's going to be TongFu. We got LPC, who picked up the silencer. It was a 4th pick silencer into this big team fight lineup. It was a strong grab, so we'll see if it's going to be profitable. U9 is going to be playing that mid lane Shadow Fiend. And well nearby, we got Teal, who's going to be King J on your support Vengeful Spirit. We got Mr. Zex Bingo in your off-lane Axe, and that will leave your safe lane farmer, Jin Q. Last game, very successful sniper. This time he's going to give it a go as your anti-mage. And, well, Basskip, I will give you the honors of introducing LGD for game number 2.
Yeah, so really quick over on mid on the Storm Spirit, we have Maybe heading up towards top. MMY or Mama Ya is going to be on Ancient Apparition with Sylar on the Morphling. Making his way over to help out mid is Xiao8 on the Earthshaker, and finally in the off lane we have Yao on Tidehunter, who manages to get the lane in a pretty good position to start things off right underneath this tower, which is definitely very nice.
Yeah, and without the benefit of, well, I was going to say without the benefit of anyone helping out, but I forgot. I probably helped out that the Earthshaker probably blocked the way with his Fisher. Gets that done. He's like, okay, good luck, sir. I'm going to go ahead and head to top lane where they're going to need my help. So Tidehunter, pretty thankful for that. He'll get an early level 2 boost. But Xiao8, he's going to wait patiently here in hopes that maybe he can trap Zex Bingo here on the front-hand side. But Zex is trying to juggle between being in a comfortable spot where he could still get XP, but not be too overextended where he can get trapped here. So Xiao8's going to just kind of play very patiently, and now he's going to... Nope, he's not going to make the go. And yeah, he might be spotted there as Axe kind of moves to the top of the staircase. So he might take the long road up and around. Very long-winded stuff. But you can say the same here for King J. He's actually smoked up, and he looks like he's been trying to add pressure on this mid lane and really take it to Maybe. Maybe's been muscled pretty hard. He actually had to already use his salve, so strong start for U9 here.
I think he actually already had to ferry a salve just because he hasn't been able to get in and get the CS. It does have still decent farm, but still going to take him a little while to get to his bottle.
They're going for it. They got the stun, but he is a bit deep here. Maybe. Oh, well, he thinks he can man fight, but he ends up going down. Oh, King J. They trade the aggro very nicely. One more auto attack would have done it. Oh, he's trying to go for the snap kill. Fissure's going to be way too far, and even the small little body block from U9 just to ensure that his support can make it away safely. But it's TongFu who strike first. It's really early to say, and oh, look at this. King J's going to buy out and sacrifice myself to Roshan. Goes down.
The death timers are so much longer at low levels now after the change. It doesn't seem like much, and it isn't for later levels, but yeah, suiciding at level 2, 12 seconds instead of the, I think it was like less than 10 before, but it's still faster than walking back, so. King J going to get another trip out, get another smoke, and I think he may just be looking for another kill before too long.
Very aggressive play for his Vengeful Spirit. And it's funny you mentioned that change. I feel like the reason that change came is that there was a big game, I think it was a C game, where there was a huge clash at the early first rune. And, well, the team actually went into buying back. They came back and ended up walking away with a big triple kill. And it just seemed a little too good. Well, they didn't buy back, but they got the TP right back into the fight because of the short death timer and turned the fight right around. And I guess they kind of want to punish people from doing that. So they made the timers a little bit longer so they can't as easily do that. So it doesn't affect too much in the game overall, but early on you will see maybe a slightly less aggressive play, but this is what the silencer does, man. Bottom lane, LPC gets that early point into the glaive, and he just starts right-clicking it onto Yao here. Even your biggest, baddest, tankiest off-laner is going to be pretty affected from that pure damage that he dishes out.
Yeah, Yao has managed to secure himself a really good start after that initial block from the Earthshaker. Is almost level 5, so that's working out really nicely for him. No ancient stacks just yet, and I don't think he's going to get any of these jungle stacks. They're probably more reserved for the Storm Spirit, so that maybe he can get up his farm and get in towards that. I guess it's probably... The build this game could be interesting. So the standard that we've seen so far has been, you know, Bloodstone first, and then either into BKB or Orchid. If he wants to put any pressure on the Anti-Mage before his Manta style, he probably needs to go for the Orchid first, which is definitely not the standard these days. So, and he also needs a BKB this game for the global silence. So it's tough decision making wise for maybe. I think we'll still see the Bloodstone first though. It just farms way too fast.
Yeah, I can't. It's really hard for me to say as far as who the pressure is on more to get a more successful early part of the game. I have to say maybe it's LGD getting the most out of this opportune window where maybe Silencer doesn't have his global quite ready to go, and they could take advantage of the anti-mage while he doesn't have too much farm and still could be pretty fragile. But if they can't really get a lot from it, then things can get a bit scary. Your Silencer becomes more farmed up with your Shadow Fiend and anti-mage, and man, you can really see it with the pressure they're doing on this top lane. LGD have already gotten this top tier 2 down to about a third life.
Yeah, nicely played though by King J. Just throws out the Wave of Terror at the right time, pulls the creep aggro off, and that means he's going to be able to keep this tower alive for the time being. Smoked up is Xiao on the mid lane, waiting for this level 6 on the Storm, which he's just now grabbed. So they want to jump on the Shadow Fiend if he can find it, but it looks like U9 more interested in the jungle for the time being, so just going to stay safe.
And it looks like they have delegated the top lane for now to King J to find some solo farm, while Mr. Zex Bingo is going to go back to the jungle and work from there. But here we go, mid lane, Xiao. Yeah, very nice Fissure. Blocks him from going back to the high ground, so he tries to turn around and man fight it, but he does go down. The wave flies out, but the damage has already been done. They do have to sacrifice their Xiao Earthshaker, but after the early first blood, they needed something like that to kind of make sure they can bounce back. So maybe able to kind of, you know, withstand the early pressure and now can have a mid lane to work with, while Shadow Fiend is going to be sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah, they really got to get him on the board. He's trailing quite a few CS to the SF, but looks like they're going to give him this little stack in the jungle as well, and I think he's well on his way now.
Looks like Shadow Fiend makes his return, gets right back up, and yeah, King J, look at this, way deep in LGD territory. As he smokes up and maybe just scouts out and sees a stack. Maybe something they might think about stealing in the future, or possibly using to their own advantage on catching an opportune moment to make a go onto LGD. So we'll see if that's going to be the case or not. King J for now scouts out mid lane, where looks like Xiao Wei's getting a bit of solo farm. Where did our Storm Spirit go? He's heading to the bottom lane. He's already level 7, so he's seeing if maybe he can make a jump. No Vortex level. He's kind of caught on to the trend of Storm Spirit where you don't get anything into W, just go for the more heavy damage.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a gamble for him to come down bot and look for the kill, but they are still making full use of all the golden experience. Xiao Wei's actually farming up mid lane in the meantime. So he's spending quite a bit of time here, and we'll see if it's going to pay off. Looks like the answer is no.
Yeah, Xingqiu still holds strong, moves back to the lane. But hey, top lane, LGD were finally able to bring down that tier 1 tower at only about, just before 8 minutes in. So they get a nice little boost in the economy early on. Silo's got a free lane to work with, and MMY, he's had only dual lane XP, but he's not had to go anywhere. So your Ancient Apparition is about to reach level 6. And 8 minutes in, that's pretty nice as a support. So he's got Ice Blast online pretty fast, and that could be a bit of a surprise to TongFu. The second that LGD want to initiate, which could be here in the mid lane. As look at this, coming in from behind. There's that Ice Blast, there's that jump in, and it's going to be a success. Beautifully executed from LGD, and they're going to be able to walk away with the hit and run.
I mean, you can see that that was probably part of the game plan from the start, just to make sure that MMY got as much farm as he, or as much experience as he possibly could up on top, and Xiao, as per usual on support, taking a very self-sacrificing role, but he still has his arcane boots sub 9 minutes, which is actually really impressive.
That's really impressive.
He's done really well for himself.
I guess just being involved and near those kills has helped out. Plus, he got 1 kill himself, so that's really nice. And it doesn't look like they've had to sacrifice like a lack of wards or anything. They've got him down too. So, a nice early boom of wealth coming out for LGD. And what I was saying before, this is what they need to do. Look at Sylar, man. This is my lane, and now I'm going to start knocking on your tier 2. And I know Axe is not going to be coming back here. He's got to try to meet that quota of getting a Blink Dagger in the jungle somewhere else. And, well, the only other person you can bring by is a little support, and Sylar's not scared of that. So this is a pretty comfortable Morphling. He's at the top of the CS, 66 and 20. AM nipping at his heels at 62 and 23.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be a Lincoln Sphere to begin with for Sylar. Even though there's still plenty of things they're going to disable him despite the Lincolns, it's still just such a good farming item for more. Keep the mana up, means that you can stay out and just continue to bounce between lanes, spam the waveform for farm. So it's pretty standard, but I think it's probably the right call here. Ideally for LGD, they're split pushing a whole lot, so he's got time to go for the items that he feels he needs this game.
Looks like for now Yao is going to step away from his offlane, farm some Ancients here, maybe try to go for a stack, but couldn't get it as there is a ward there from TongFu. So they knew he was doing it, didn't choose to move in there, probably didn't have the ability to kind of make a fight happen there. But yep, there's going to be a setup towards mid lane. Maybe in a bit of trouble. Pops his invis, makes the jump over the left-hand side, and gets the kill on the silencer and is able to avoid the Requiem. So they only get the one-man takedown, but they want the Xiao 8, and they get it. Long-range snipe right there from U9 with the raise. Makes it a 1-for-1 trade. 2 supports go down.
I think there was some straight up panic from Maybe there when he popped the invis and just started dancing around trying to dodge the raise, but does fortunately manage to get out of the way in the end. So yeah, like you said, just the support for support trade. Sylar, constant pressure on this top lane, really just keeping keeping TongFu occupied and making sure that there's always somebody up here. Axe, 11 minutes in, the jungle farm has been, it seems somewhat slow for him. I don't know if he's gotten bad luck on the camps. I think there weren't really any stacks set up for him, so he's just kind of had to go at this the old-fashioned way, and it does mean that his Blink Dagger timing is going to be a little bit slow coming out, and maybe just finding more kills, LPC goes down.
Yep. Looks like your mid lane silencer will be taken down once more. I mean, this is the ticket. I mean, it looked like a very strong TongFu lineup, but to make that lineup strong, you got to get the levels and you got to get the items together. And if they continue to get punished in the early game, it's just going to take longer and longer, and then you still might end up 1 or 2 steps behind LGD. And at that point, it might just be too little too late. So as this maybe Storm Spirit can really begin to build up a snowball, create the space, and allow Sylar to continue to just have free roam and free will to do as he pleases, this Morphling will just be on a whole nother level. But TongFu do still have this anti-mage who has been diligently farming on the bottom lane. He's level 9, Sylar level 8, so he does have that on him. But yeah, going back towards Zex Bingo, the Axe who's jungling, he's trying to make the best of it. Actually could possibly be in trouble. Scout it out. Long jump gets him. Oh, I just want my Blink Dagger. He's so close, but he goes down. Good catch right there from LGD. And of all the people to grab that Axe, he had tried so hard to just try to get that Blink, and now he's got to wait that much longer.
Poor guy has to go clear out a couple more camps before he can grab it. And King J, meanwhile, top lane.
Yeah, he got hit with the Ice Blast in the wave. He's done for. Uh-oh. TP in. Requiem trying to get a kill in return, and will get it onto MMY. So good rotation. And meanwhile, Sylar nearby. Quickly replicates up and above, but he's near the side chop where, look at this, U9 greets him, has the haste rune, he's going to chase him down. Sylar needs some help. Oh, he's able to step away. Here comes Maybe, jumps in, got the vortex, got the pull, and will keep him occupied. And now look at this, U9's gone a little too far, and help shows up, and Maybe gets the kill. He is already dominating on this Storm Spirit. 4, 1, and 2, and he is indeed going right for the Bloodstone. He's got the Soul Ring, he's got the point booster, and well, he's almost got 1K gold.
The build-up's just too easy. I mean, people are buying Soaring, or were buying Soaring on Storm anyway, even if they were going for the Orchid build. So I think a lot of people just it's super straightforward to just finish up the Bloodstone and then keep on going. But yeah, he's finding a lot of space. He had a somewhat tough start to the lane on mid with the initial death to the Vengeful Spirit and whatnot, but he's bounced right back.
I like this. Maybe grabs up a rune, walks in the Roche Pit to hide in the shadows as he pops the Invis, and now is trying to go for a creeper of a surprise play here on the bottom. And he knows that that prize target would be that sweet anti-mage, and they might have the lockdown for it. I mean, they got the Ravage ready to go, the Fissure.
They're waiting for Ice Blast. It's on its way.
Here it comes. MMY from downtown. Ooh, it's close. Can they bait him back into it? Nope, but they do. King J swaps there to try to save, and even the Global comes out, but Jinq wants to fight. Jumps right into maybe, and they get the dunk and the Void at once. Oh, a whole lot of hate on that Storm Spirit to get that bounty, and now Xiao 8 on the run. Yao's got to get away. Still has the Ravage, doesn't want to use it, and it looks like they only walk away with the one casualty, but it was a big grab right there for TongFu. Good quick reaction. I guess they weren't anticipating the Vengeful Spirit to be there with the quick swap, and it's just enough to allow TongFu to pull out a good counterfight.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Does at the very least open up a little bit of space for Sylar to grab this top tower. Unfortunately, he's missed both of the last hits so far on the tier 1 and the tier 2. So there's a little bit of gold lost. You know, it's not a huge deal, but I think at this kind of level of play, it is still definitely worth pointing out, and all the little things do definitely add up. I mean, well, Anti-Mage has his Battle Fury along with his Quelling Blade and his Power Tread, so he's ready to start clearing out the jungle. But there is some overlapping. There's a lot of overlap between he wants the jungle, Axe wants the jungle, Shadow Fiends wants the jungle. So the sooner that he can get up to, I guess, his Manta Style or his Vlads, whatever he's going to feel confident split pushing with, that's going to be a pretty important milestone for him.
For the first time
here comes that replicate.
Yeah, we're going to see the two Titans go toe-to-toe in the same lane. Anti-Mage is like, I'll take over this top lane and work with the farm as it's very pushed forward towards the base. So he's got a lot of space to work with over here. But look at this, TongFu smoked up now. They're heading towards the northern part of the map as they get ready to approach LGD territory. Look who's just there, but he's quickly out. The second he gets sight, he just immediately power balls the hell out of there. Doesn't want anything to do with it, as X-Bingo couldn't quite get into position to make the blink happen. So not going to be there, and they'll kind of move to the next best option as they get the tier 1 in the mid lane. And as I look at U9, one of the few here on the eastern side that are going to be going with the Yules build. He's got the Yules. Actually, he already has an Ogre Club as he goes right for the BKB. Typically, you see the Yules right into a blink for the setup, but this is interesting. We don't get to see this very often, and I'm curious to see how he's going to make use out of it. I do like it against someone like Storm Spirit, maybe someone who does typically go with the Orchid. You can, use it defensively as well as offensively to get away, but yeah, man, U9. We'll see what he has.
It's another way to pop the Lincoln Sphere, potentially, which they've already seen being built. Gets you some solo kills. And he definitely needs the BKB as well, just because he is playing against the Tidehunter and a lot of other magical damage besides. So that's pretty solid. One thing I want to point out is, where the hell did Xiao 8 find all of this farm? He had sub 9-minute arcanes, and now he has a Blink Dagger as well, only a couple of minutes after the Axe. He's 2-2-2. He's got 28 CS. I mean, they have taken a tier 1 and a tier 2, so all that gold is lining his pockets, but somehow he's just pulled out all of this farm. I mean, MMY's been the one that's actually been sitting up top and being the dedicated sort of farmer as far as the two supports go. And he's got a Midas to show for it. He's still 600 gold behind Xiao. Maybe he hasn't been buying any of the wards. I think maybe that's all been falling to MMY, so that could definitely be part of it. But this is a really impressive farm.
I think it has to come down to the 2 towers they took in the top lane. I mean, that definitely that helped a lot. But yeah, I agree. For someone who's only 2-2-2, I'm looking at a CS. It's good. I mean, it's pretty good for a support Earthshaker, but I would be the happiest clam in the sea if I was playing my support Earthshaker and I had already this tool belt at this time of the game. So I imagine he's been hiding in the dark with this blink dagger as well. As you see, he moves on the side. Then when the creeps move forward, he goes back into the lane. He wants to make a strong debut with this blink dagger, and I'm talking a facial of a dog right on top of TongFu. He dishes out the fissure for now, but notice he still doesn't want to quite show himself. So we'll see if he gets that kind of an opportunity to pull out the Charles Barkley.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Which Gerg doesn't know who that is. So Gerg, if you're out there, that's a basketball player, by the way.
we got to take the shots when we have the opportunity.
That no one out there will know what the hell I'm talking about. Well, they're going on to Yao. They get the blink call, but it is a big meaty watermelon. There's going to be the debut of the blink. Unfortunately, it's just kind of save his ally, but it might be enough for him to get away. But here comes King J. He does have the swap. There's going to be the call, though. And it looks like, yep. Oh, there's the dunk on the return. Global immediately thereafter. Zex Bingo still alive
Nice
for
blast.
now, but no, goes right on through. Now it's TongFu on the run. Adaptive Strike does some damage. Another fissure going to connect, and it blocks her in. She goes down, and now Maybe comes from the north and gets the finish onto U9. Triple kill for Sylar on your morph. That is scary for TongFu. They are in a really solid spot right here. They led into this game with a strong early game presence, and they're continuing to hold the reins of this one. And Jin Q, well, he's off in another dimension. He's just trying to farm and play catch-up. And I have to say, he does have a nice bit of farm. It doesn't help that now Sylar's got 3 kills from that, but Battle Fury, he's got Vlad's and about 2k gold, and now he's adding pressure on the tier 2.
Yeah, Antimate just getting his own game going, really coming into his own. I think it was kind of somewhat of a given with the draft, the way that they played out this game. LGD didn't really have all that many opportunities to shut him down out of the gate, but the rest of the LGD game plan is going so well, and especially as you pointed out, that triple kill on Sylar is huge. He's gonna have his, I guess he's probably still just gonna go for the Ethereal Blade as the next big pickup, and after that, he's going to be so tough to deal with. The other thing is that Axe really needed those kills down bot, but I'd say he's still a little bit behind overall. And it can be a hero where if you fall behind, it can be very difficult to catch up. You know, often if you're behind, you just jump in, get the call off, and the enemy team can still nuke you down.
Yeah.
Anyway, no problem. So Zex Bingo got to keep up the pace, got to try and keep those levels going, and try and find some more ganks if you can, but it is going to be tough with LGD continuing to get tankier with the items across the board, even the urn on the Earthshaker, and also now mech and Aegis and everything else still in hand.
It's going to be tricky to find that opportunity to make a jump. LGD seem to be putting themselves in a solid position where they kind of have someone always waiting behind if he wants to make the jump onto any of these guys by the tower. You got Zhao 8 nearby with the fissure ready, so it's not going to be easy. Ice Blast will fly on bottom where TongFu are trying to find a side push themselves. They can't get a hold of a tier 1 tower as LGD gets their own, but look at this. They are able to get a catch off here on the Jin Q. Can they finish him off? He goes for the Mana Void on the Zhao 8, but can't get it. Global comes out, but it's not going to be enough. Your anti-mage will go down, and Zhao 8 is able to skip away and be alive as he heads back to base. Oh boy, not good there for anti-mage. He was hungry for a kill, but not going to happen. Plus, they committed the global silence on top of it. Now they're going to be without that for, what, 2 minutes? Oof, real hard right now for TongFu.
Yeah, I think LGD are going to be breathing down their necks pretty soon. Especially with the Blink Dagger pickup on the Tidehunter as well. This is like the perfect 2-minute window for LGD. You just got Blink, you've got Aegis on your Storm Spirit, you've got some relatively soft objectives to take as well in these tier 2s, and...
Uh-oh. King J... Wow, that's just so much hate. Yao is like, yeah, you're trying to TP, here's my first Ravage just for you, buddy. Plus an Ice Blast. Your Vengeful Spirit, just why? Why? As LGD, I mean, yeah, we're anticipating like, okay, this is their chance to make a big move for an objective towards the base. They got the Blink Ravage ready to go. No, they're just going to use it on a little support and kill her. So 6-13, LGD still looking very strong. They've been taking towers non-stop and now taking names. They push past the 5k net worth advantage. XP even worse, 7,500 gold. A big boost here for LGD, and they're playing like they know they need to get a win here to try to take it to a game 3.
And Sylar's got a shotgun now as well, so supports beware. He's out on the map. Even some of these cores for TongFu as well need to be careful. U9 does have his BKB. But maybe just gonna go jumping in, and
that was right between the eyes, right, with that shot. Just, no one's safe. Even your silencer just trying to tuck himself way behind, and now it's LGD, and this was the, I mean, it's just so funny because when we saw the draft come together, it was like, oh, this is TongFu, unless things go bad. Things are going bad, and Shed Bingo also goes down the mid lane. U9 shows up. He's going for the Hail Mary of a play. Spirit Bomb, not going to be enough. Dunk goes down as Anti-Mage jumps in, but they still get Zhao 8. Maybe could be in trouble now. He just jumps the hell out of there, but now he's out of mana and gets chopped down. Does have the Aegis, so he should be able to make it away here. Or will he? Immediate global just for him as they take him down, and that convenient global stops Yao as he jumps in, and now he feeds himself away. Oh no, TongFu has just found their way back into the game with a big engagement there, though. It doesn't affect Sylar too much, who's still the big target. That's still something very special for TongFu.
Yeah, so much for that 2-minute window that I was talking about. Yeah. They got very little out of that. Anti-Mage is pretty much uninterrupted, off farming the entire time. They got a bunch of gold served up on a silver platter because of those additional kills on mid, and now we're sort of back to a slightly more even position. Golden experience still out in LGD's favor. They're still getting good farm overall, but I think that was definitely a missed opportunity there with the last couple of minutes.
So we'll look to see where TongFu want to take it from here. They were now given a big opportunity to kind of inch themselves back into this game. A Yule's going to be picked up on your Storm Spirit. Don't see this very often. And must serve a unique purpose. Is that just to simply cancel the global silence? Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's a funky way of making it work. Just a quick self-Yule's and you're back and ready to play. So I like the grab. You don't see it very often, but when you're stuck in a situation like this, it can certainly be justified.
Yeah, not too bad for setting up for additional lockdown save from the Earthshaker, for example, as well. If you jump in, you Vortex the Anti-Mage, you do some damage, you need your Earthshaker to get a little bit closer, you can Yule's him in the meantime, and then Zhao can set up for some additional disable. So I do like the pickup from maybe here. It does... He is still vulnerable to getting chain stunned and killed, however.
Long jump after they do his smoke back onto Zex Bingo. Bingo. He goes down. Maybe gets an easy grab right there. And his Bloodstone now up to 9 charges. Actually, he recently did have to use it. But, he's going for another. Jump in. Goes right into a Yule's, but there's the follow-up with the Ravage on the 3, and now it's an obliteration as TongFu hit the deck one by one. U9, one of the lone survivors, and now Jin Q looking to get on the action. Sylar, though, stands his ground and just muscles right on through the Shadow Fiend. Looking to make a go onto Jin Q next, who's just trying to clean out those supports. Tidehunter the only one to fall. Jin Q could be next, will be next. Double kill for Sylar. Silencer, you gotta get the hell out of there. Oh, he gets blasted with the Ice Blast, and I don't think he has anywhere to go. Trying to find a juke spot here, but boom! Smack to the face with the log from Zhao 8, and he goes down, but he might be in trouble. Eats a couple of shots from the tower. Now the Battle Hunger plus the Urn, and Zex Bingo, I don't think that was worth it, and I think this game was just ripped right open, and LGD are just gonna, well, chomp to bits TongFu. That was very hurtful to watch.
Yeah, that was just beautiful execution, I think, out of LGD. They jumped in, the Ravage was great, and just found kill after kill after kill. Zex Bingo seems somewhat frustrated, I think, honestly, at the stage. He just really wanted that kill on Zhao. Even if he got the kill, he wasn't getting out. So maybe he's finding more. King J's probably dead here.
Throws her up, throws her down, then pops, waits, gets some mana. They're just juggling with these supports at this point. Maybe he's just dancing, toying, teasing, playing with his food before he actually eats it on up. And he's got 2.3k, 14 charges. I think I just looked at him, he had 9. Now he's got 14, and all right, Jin Q thinks he can make a jump here onto Sylar. Keeps going. They did pop the Lincolns here, but he's still got a BKB on top of that, so this is not going to be an easy Morphling to take down. It's going to take a unanimous effort from his whole squad to kind of make the commitment, but it's just going to be too hard, man. LGD, their support staff is just so good. When you got the Ravage ready to go online, you got your Earthshaker who's there ready to kind of bring the lockdown. And now with like something like a Yules, even if axes to make a big jump in, you know, that Yules is just going to throw him up in the air. Oh boy, where's Baby going? He's found more food. And it's going to be Silencer. This is just the dream when you're a Storm Spirit in this kind of a game. You've just gotten so much, and now you can just take what the hell you want. And as long as you got these aggressive wards down, any opportunity you get, you just make that Olympic jump, and you just hit, I don't know, reach the goal. It's ridiculous. 10 to 24 now for LGD.
Yeah, you just kill supports from anywhere. It's ridiculous. And, well, LGD, they've also almost got their level 16 AA Ags ult at the ready, so MMY is about to wreak some havoc as well with that. And
what's the life of these supports? Is that like a one-shot kill on some of these? King J's got 1100 life. Okay, well, hold on. Jumped in. There's the call, but it's only a baited setup into the Ravage. The global comes out, but the damage might have been done. Yule's Requiem. Storm Spirit's fine. Heads on out. Yao might not be the same case as they right-click him, but look at Sylar go. Jumping right on in. Immediately drops down 2, and here's Maybe. Back from before U9 will, well, be taken care of. Ultra kill. Sylar just kind of showing off his farm potential, and yeah, TongFu have tapped out. That is just a slaughter. As LGD even the score and take it to a game number 3.
Well, I don't know about Sylar's Nagasiren in the first game, but his Morphling in the second game is a whole different story. So that was very, very well played, and I think biggest issue for TongFu was that Zexbingo just never really got any help at all. I think if there'd been some stacks in the jungle, the Blink Dagger comes out a little bit faster. Maybe he's more ready to respond to some of the moves from LGD, but it just seemed like in general LGD had so much farm. We ranted and raved a little bit about the Earthshaker, but the Ancient Apparition also did really well, and they were just ahead the whole time.
Yeah, LD looks strong. Sylar has a free lane on top to work with as he muscles through 2 towers, and yeah, the supports benefit a lot from that, and they get their items together so quick that TongFu will really have no opportunity to play catch-up. But we'll just kind of go ahead and push on forward as we're going to be going into Game 3. So Game 3 hype about to come underway. Both these teams really need to pull together a win, and we'll see who's going to get it. Bring you the coverage is Beyond the Summit. I'm KotLGuy. That's Basskip, and we'll be back with Game number 3 in just a moment.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck! What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!